Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Chicagoland Speedway for the final race of the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series season. It's the 170th race in series history and the 35th on this year. Andrew Rich has his first pole on the year, Quentin Moore to his outside, and I'm joined by the legendary co-commentator of this channel, Vince Freeze.
This is it, baby. This is the final four, ironically, even though that's not how we intended it to be. It happened. Let's spotlight row three, Charles Sandfer, Jonathan Zoerlein. How about that? 13 wins combined, plus Zoerlein's all-star, make it 14 if you want to keep count. They seem to be the two favorites, but let's not forget about Samet Ozkan. He's looking to defend the crown, defend the 22, as I like to say, if he had the one plate. And then Nate Rogers, he won a couple surprise races, especially Homestead and a thriller. What can they do? It's going to be a fun one. It's the Windy City. It's Young and Peter Onjak's home race, and a lot to get storylines to get to. But back to you, buddy.
Row 2 is Dylan Young and Allison Rayne, two of which we called the Big Five earlier in the year, missing out. I think especially heartbreaking for Allison Rayne, two-time Cup Series champion, was looking for number 3 in her career, and the first since her transition, which we mentioned all the way back at the beginning of the season. Row 3, like you mentioned, Vince, are the favorites. Charles Sandfer coming in with 8 wins, Zoerlein coming in with 5 on the season. Of course, Charles, with his record-breaking 6 poles overall on the year, has started up front pretty much every race this season, and he came into this race with an average starting position of 7.59, leading all drivers. Second up to him, Allison Rayne with a 9.91. In row 4, you've got William Brock and Nico Tringali. And in row 5, Zach Flickinger and Samet Ozkan. Ozkan looking to make history today, looking to be the second driver to go back-to-back and win championships in the Cup Series. Rayne was the first to do it, 2018 to 2019. Ozkan, the defending champion, won the championship last season. He would also be the first driver to give a team its third championship in a single series. You've got the 22 with 2 championships between Ozkan in 2020 and Caleb Hoffman, in 2017. And of course, Nate Rogers starting there in row number 6 next to Keith Rich. Nate, pretty much the underdog. You look at the other 3. 22 top 10s for Ozkan and Zoerlein, 23 for Sandfer. Nate with only 17, and only 6 top 5s for Nate to Ozkan's 11 and Sandfer and Zoerlein's 16. Average finishing position is also a big difference. Ozkan, Sandfer, Zoerlein all under an 11.5. Nate Rogers 16.35. We'll go over more stats after the command. Before we go over those other statistics, Vince, past winners, drivers that missed the final race of the season, please.
There are past winners. We got Charles Jackson, 17, Wes McCoy, 2020. The people who missed, Osman Hamid Carabel, who ironically won Pensacola. So I'm out. Yepes has been out for a long time, ever since the JGR switch. Lane Sanders, Scott Rouse, Trey Smith, Lance Smith Jr., and Sam Dyer all missed the show. I don't have any fuel numbers, but we'll get to that, I'm sure, in the race. Zach, this is the finale. This is where you have to have your best race of the career. We'll say first, like a Nate Rogers, you got to pull some bold strategy, though. For Sandfer and Zoerlein and Ozkan, you think you're going to be up at the front. The outside, inside can kind of be mixed in the day, especially with the fuel window. When we get to that, I think it's going to be about undercuts a little bit, and if we get an early yellow. And can Andrew Rich, he's had a hot playoff, continue that? He's been one of those surprises in this playoffs.
Yes, indeed, I believe the fuel window will be about 30 to 32 laps like we saw in the truck race last night. Tire wear should be up over 3 seconds. Cloudy weather is definitely going to amplify that just a little bit. But Rich will lead him to the green flag, and talk about a coincidence. All 3 of our rookie super speedway winners missed the final race of the season. Green flag is out, and the final race of 2021 is underway. Sandfer with a much better start than Jonathan Zoerlein. He'll make it 3 wide for second place on lap 1.
Yeah, Charles Sandfer had that benefit of the inside line. Looks like Ozkan, Rogers, and Zoerlein are just waiting for their time. William Brock is up there, and Allison Rayne, a pre-race favorite, is Chicagoland, trying to look low.
Sandfer will clear Young and Quinton Moore for second place. Passing on the inside line is going to be difficult here this afternoon. We saw it last night in the Truck Series race. But once the tire strategy picks up, passing on the inside should be pretty easy. Remember, Vince, last year Charles Sandfer had the newest tires on track, and he was straight up flying at the end of the race last season.
Yeah, and ironically, he's trying to pass the guy to get that all-time win record for the series, 9. Let's see if he can do that today.
Yes, indeed. We talk about records for single-season records. Top 5s and top 10s have already been broken. Andrew Rich set records of 12 and 17 back in 2018, respectively, along with 8 wins in a single season. Charles enters this race with 8 wins on the year. If he gets number 9, he'll be the new record holder in that field. If you look at top 5, Sandfer, Zoerlein, and Rayne all entered with 16. Fitzwater with 15. So a chance there for anywhere from 1 to 4 drivers to hold the record for top 5s. And then at top 10s, Fitzwater, Sandfer entering with 23. Ozkan, Zoerlein entering with 22. Same thing there. 1 to 4 drivers could have the record for most top 10s in a single season. Quinton Moore running in 3rd, Young 4th, Rayne 5th. Zoerlein is 6th. Brock, Tringali, Flickinger, and Nate Rogers and Ozkan battle for the final top 10 position. We did not go through the rest of the field on the starting grid, as Sandfer is looking for the lead already, as Dylan Young is underneath Quinton Moore for 3rd. I know it's early, Vince. It's only been 4 laps, but fastest lap on the race is the 03 of Charles Sandfer by a solid 1/10 of a second over Andrew Rich.
Yeah, he seems to have the best turnoff right now, and then I would say Dylan Young would be the second best on turn off and entry. Let's see what Charles Sandfer can do here.
204 miles an hour into turn 1. Vince, a lot of grip on these tires right now, about 170 in the corner.
Yeah, we're only seeing about 3.5 tenths of fall. I still see Zoerlein's looking to make a move, but I think it's too low. Sandfer's going to try to soul search some new lines, just a little bit higher than Rich there in 3 and 4. He's going to arc that in. We'll kind of do an onboard here, just visually. Yeah, I think Sandfer has the best car here. We'll try that one of those roof cameras. So he's going to go into turn 1 and 2 here. You see Rich pulls away a little bit on exit. He's got a nice straighter arc. Sandfer's going to go that lower line and get some cleaner on the nose to help front turn. See, Rich has the arc. He's definitely in the middle of the corner as the tires wear, but Sandfer seems to get it back a little bit on the straight line speed. Well, not by much. We'll get back to live shot, but Dylan Young is coming.
Sandfer had a terrible arc off of turn 2. He kept it low and he scrubbed off a lot of speed, and that was not the way to go about it. Now you see him running the middle line, trying to get some of that momentum back. Dylan Young kind of following about a quarter of a lane lower. We saw that in the truck race too last night, Vince. You know, running the lower line, drivers tried it. It didn't really work out. I don't think it's going to work out in these Cup cars either.
No, it should not. But back to the, I guess we're cycling through the field here.
Nate Rogers is in 9th, Ozkan is in 10th, and now Nate looking for 8th on his teammate, Nico Tringali. Interesting statistic, if you look at the playoff drivers, Vince, you know, we mentioned that Nate has the least amount of top 5s, least amount of top 10s, worst average finishing position. He's got the worst average starting position, which is 15th. That's still not bad. Nate Rogers, though, no poles on this season. Didn't start on pole once. And we know he had that dominating race going for him at Richmond. Could have been a 3-time winner on the season, but you know how short tracks were this year. They were unpredictable.
Yeah, I think Nate, he just really is the underdog story for these guys out here trying to chase this championship for next year. Obviously, we still don't know what we're going to do with the playoff system, if there is one. But for right now, you think if Nate gets back here next year, if we do have this system, he'll learn and grow. And he passed Ozkan, right, the champ from last year. You'd think Ozkan would have been up there already, but he seems to be struggling today.
Nate really threaded the needle there in turn 1 last time by. He rode Tringali up in the middle lane, trying to get some momentum. But now you see Tringali fighting back on the top. It is going to be a big strategy game, I think, today, Vince. If it comes down to fuel, if we're wrong about the fuel window, 94 laps, you might not make it on 2 stops. Look at the run Ozkan gets there as Nate gets himself pinned to the bottom. As Sandfer is still going after Andrew Rich at the front of the field. Zoerlein is just hanging in there in 6th place right now, watching things play out as Sandfer looks for the race lead on lap number 12.
Thing is, how low is he going to go on entry? Looks like Rich is going to get the run with Dylan Young's draft help. We'll push draft, see what happens at 3 and 4. Young still staying with Rich.
Here's a statistic for you, Vince. Out of all 4 champions, none have had more than 3 wins on the season. And at that, if you look at it in total, the total number of wins in all 4 seasons combined from the champions is just 6. Sandfer has 2 more than that across just 1 year. Caleb Hoffman won the 2017 title with no wins. Rayne won it in 2018 with 3, 2019 with 2, and Ozkan won it last year with just 1. Sandfer or Zoerlein would already be more than that. Nate and Ozkan could fall under the other category. But Charles Sandfer has the race lead at lap 14.
We talked about how early he locked himself race 1 technically in these playoffs. I said about that magical setup 10 weeks ago. Well, I think it's here. He's got the magical setup. He's had the most time to prepare out of everyone in the field. And we're showcasing it now, but we know pit strategy can be there. And Zoerlein's not that far behind. He's still in this front pack, for sure.
Now, let's not forget Darlington and Atlanta. Atlanta especially a little similar to this, at least in length, as far as cookie cutters go. But, of course, Chicagoland, its own track. But, man, Charles, you know, just with the most preparation out of anybody. I think him and Ozkan together. But Ozkan, as you can see, is down in 9th. Zoerlein, though, starting his charge. He's right up there on Allison Rayne's back bumper. As I think both of them are looking to get by Quinton Moore, who has done an amazing job of staying inside the top 5. As you see, Nate and Nico still battling it out for 7th, have pulled away from Ozkan, who's made it by Flickinger for 9th. Let's run through the field here, Vince. We haven't done it yet today. Fitzwater, first man outside of the top 10. William Brock in 12th. Keith Rich, 13th. Colt Hudson having a career day here right now in 14th. Ellison, 15th. Kev Shears, 16th. McIntyre. Logan Williams, the highest out of our inexperienced rookie drivers. Meaning rookie drivers that came into the year with no truck or cup experience. Logan doing quite a good job at a track like this, running 18th. As there's over a second and a half of tire wear now. How about Pukekohe running inside the top 20, having a good day? Sam Young in 20th. This is his final cup start for the time being. He'll be full-time trucks next year. Get outside the top 20, you see Jesse Turner, Ace Rogers, Cole Deaver, who has just been inconsistent this season. Logan York, Adam Flickinger, Peter Onjak, Jessica Shelton, Seth Cole going to come close. Ooh. Seth Cole has been struggling today, Vince. He is outside the top 25. Alexander Rowe, same thing, running in 30th. Remember, they've got that battle for 12th in the points between Rich and Rowe. The difference coming into the race was 18 points. Right now, it looks like advantage Andrew Rich. So you go outside the top 30. Amanda Evans, Priya McShane running 32nd. Remember, there is a race between her and Matthew Rodriguez for top 30 in points. It's 15-point difference coming into this race. Right now, though, she's not that much higher than Matt Rod. Matt Rod in 37th. You see RJ Bishop and Alex Ferranti struggling as well in this race today, and Christian Vargas brings out the rear of the field. Lap 20, Vince, 2 seconds of fall off. If you're Charles Sandfer here, what's the strategy? Do you have to stretch it as far as you can, or do you think everyone's good to make it on 2 pit stops?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a weird. This is similar to Homestead. Nate's about running where he was at Homestead, that 8th to 10th position, and he could be saving his same as Zoerlein. Could they be saving their stuff for this being a one-stop race? This is going to be close. I think with the tire difference, if I'm Sandfer, I come in early. You know, similar to Darlington, I think he was with Allison Rayne. He pit early. I'd have to take the chance and pit early, believe it or not. I don't think you can take that one-stop risk. And even if you try, you're not guaranteed to make it. Look at Dylan Young, aka Homestead. I think as the leader, you're going to be burning more fuel. You don't have the draft. You can't really save much. It's all about how you can navigate your coast. Your throttle mechanism, right? Can you mash the throttle a little bit and save a little bit down that curve backstretch? Sometimes you can get pulled, but I think he's coming in early. But we'll see now. If you're Zoerlein, what do? Do you go run long? If you're Nate, do you run longer a couple laps to get a tire advantage? And Nate's actually been on the rise. He just caught this pack. Does he have something for these guys?
Nate and Nico have caught the pack. I wanted to say for about the last 2 laps that Ozkan has faded behind Zach Flickinger, and they are about 3 seconds behind this group, but great analysis there by Vince.
No problem.
As Ozkan was actually under fire from Fitzwater there for 10th place for a minute there. That time by Ozkan, 6.66 seconds behind the leader. Ooh, that's kind of bad luck. Dylan Young has taken 2nd place away from Andrew Rich. They continue the pace about a second behind Charles and a second ahead of this pack, as it kind of looks like Quinton might be holding these guys up a bit. But Nate on the move. Him and Zoerlein going to peek to the inside. Rayne going to run the top. Zoerlein has to really check up there, as Rich has started to fade away from Dylan Young. Vince, Dylan Young has not won a race since, what was it, Martinsville?
Yeah, Martinsville, short track. Yeah, this just tells you, man, if Dylan Young had made this race, they had something special for this track. Right now, Sandfer's in the league of his own, but we're still 2, maybe 1 stop away. We'll see what happens.
If you look at the Big 5, Charles's last win came at Atlanta. Zoerlein's came at Papyrus. Rayne's came at Pig Stadium. Zoerlein at, or not Zoerlein, I already said Zoerlein. Fitzwater at Bristol. And then Dylan Young the week before at Martinsville. So what a turn of the season it's been for Dylan Young and Fitzwater, Vince. You know, just they were so strong early in the year, and they just couldn't keep up with the others.
Yeah, I think Sandfer too. I would say Sandfer and Zoerlein especially. They must have found something in the wind tunnels. Wow, yeah, Nate Rogers just passed Zoerlein. That's a surprise. I gotta say, that's a surprise.
Maybe that Homestead win, they found something maybe there, Vince, and it's helping them here today. I mean, started out slow after starting 12th, but they have made it up here into 6th place, and he is moving forward. Look at that. Best drive into the corner out of this group. Don't count out Nate Rogers if this turns into a strategy race.
And definitely, I just think Quinn, more like you were saying earlier, though, is holding this pack up. I don't know, no offense to Quinn, but he just doesn't have it, looks like, so far.
And Rayne's not doing anything to get by him, so I don't know if Rayne has the power to get by him or not. Nate's going to make a dive to the inside. That didn't work out too well for Zoerlein last time, but wow, Nate really got to Rayne's inside there through the tri-oval. Look at that. He's about cleared like it was nothing.
Nate Rogers has got something magical. Maybe it's just a tire wear. If the tires fall off, the setup is geared to a more slower pace. As Sandfer, he's just gapping Dylan Young, the hometown hero.
Oh, and Rayne is coming in as is Tringali, so this is definitely not a 2-stop for these drivers. Kev Shearer also down. But Nate Rogers was challenging Quinton Moore there for 4th. So now you're Charles Sandfer. What is the strategy call here?
That's a 3-stopper, Zach. If they have to pit 28, 28, 28, that would be interesting. I don't think it'll be a 3-stopper, though. I think Sanford's going to try and make it 2 at least.
Charles is extending the run. Andrew Rich, who led early, is coming to pit road. Nate Rogers and Zoerlein will pit too. What about Samet Ozkan? Yes, so all 3 of Charles's competitors are down to the pit lane. Dylan Young and Quinton Moore, the top 2 behind Charles to stay out. Colt Hudson has remained on the track, as has, I believe, William Brock, James Ellison, and Logan Williams. And Charles will go another lap.
Young's pitting.
Young, Quinton Moore are going to pit. I think Charles knows, Vince, if he can stretch it this run, he has a shot at making it on 2 pit stops, as everyone else is coming into pit road. There's Tringali. What a strategy call by the championship favorite here.
I don't think he's going to be close. If we go 31-31, it'll be at 93. Yeah, he's going to be one lap short of the race, but can he save that one lap, or does he go for a two-stomper? It depends how much the delta is. Now, the question is, he's going to lose time. I don't know, he could retain the lead. I think if Dylan Young has a good outlap, he could. We'll see what the in-lap outlap
Well,
is.
the fall off was up to 4 seconds, Vince, so there's no way he retains the lead, but he will be flying on the freshest set of tires.
Gotta be careful of pit road.
Brock's going to come out of his...
Careful.
He's good, he's good, he's good.
Was close. Now his competitors, Rayne and Rich, might take the lead here. We'll see.
See if we can find
In terms
the leader.
of the championship battle.
There's Andrew Rich. He came out in front of Nico Tringali. So this is the battle for the lead by a long shot, I believe. There's Charles Sandfer. Rayne in third. There goes Nate by for fourth. Zoerlein for fifth. Dylan Young actually, Dylan stayed out a long time too, so he's sixth. Kev Shearer with the undercut. Seventh. Sandfer will come out eighth. Zach Flickinger is ninth, and Quinton Moore is 10th as Ozkan is 11th. So now the difference to the leader doesn't matter. It's the difference to Nate Rogers you want to be concerned about. And that difference is only 3 seconds.
Yeah, the moment Charles Sandfer's tires get up to speed, it looks like Zoerlein looks faster on this run, too, at the beginning of the run.
If these two start fighting, that's really going to help Charles Sandfer out.
Zoerlein backs it off.
Remember, Kev pit on the first stop, or the first group. Charles pit 3 whole laps later. And now the good thing here for Charles, too, is he's going to be in draft this whole run. It's going to help him save fuel even more.
Now, does he back it down? Does he just say, hey, screw this run. Let's just stay right here and then make it on one less stop, and we got this championship. Now, that's the thing. What do you do if you're Nate and Zoerlein? Do you say, okay, I got nothing to lose here. If I'm Zoerlein, I'd stay behind Nate, stretch this run, and hope the delta spreads out enough as that. No, Zoerlein's saying, I'm trying to get past you. And hope to maybe compromise that run and say, Sandfer, I'm not done yet. It's going to be between I don't know about Nate. Nate has to either file a line behind Zoerlein, or he needs to catch that pack ahead to get some type of draft. He's not in that draft distances yet.
Well, Charles is already 2/10 faster than Kev Shearer. Let's make it 4/10 faster. He is just on it.
Ooh, Kev going to throw an arrow block there. Not for long, though. Here comes Sandfer on the back. Zoerlein's still getting around.
I think Zoerlein knows, like, if he can get by Nate here, if he's got a car that's a little faster than Nate now on this run, that's going to help him pull from Charles Sandfer here, but he is not helping himself or Nate out by not being able to make the pass. It's up front.
Yeah, actually,
Andrew Rich has taken the lead, 1.2 seconds ahead of Tringali.
I think Rayne and those guys pit earlier. They might fall back into the clutches of Zoerlein and Rogers. You see some lap cars that are in the mix.
Tringali and Rayne, I believe, pit first with Kev Shearer. Rich came down the next time by, and then Nate, Zoerlein, and Ozkan were in the group that came down the next lap with Dylan Young, too, I might add. Or no, Quinton Moore and Dylan Young stayed out a whole nother lap, I think, after that, but Charles Sandfer made quick work of Kev Shearer. He's just going to move his way here through the field. 5.89 seconds behind race leader Andrew Rich. But we're pretty sure that everyone else has to pit 2 more times to Charles's 1 more time. That is the belief. Now, I think, Vince, if anybody can make it to lap 62, pick on 62 coming to 63, I think they should be able to stretch it to the end.
That's the thing, is do you want to stretch it to the end? That's the other thing. If I'm Sandfer, do you want to back it depends on how much he backs the pace, because these guys are just fighting right here, and they can't settle it. And I don't think Dylan Young is going to have the fastest car on this run. It's really Sandfer has the fastest car. especially as the tires wear. But now here the question is, look at Zoerlein. If he gets around rotted, he's got the draft now.
Zoerlein's
There
going
it
to
is.
take it. And
He's
Vince,
got the draft.
just to mention this really quickly, that lap by, Zoerlein and Nate were side by side, and they only lost a tenth of a second to Andrew Rich. Charles, though, is straight up flying. Just look at this difference here in turn 3. Actually had to bog it down on Dylan Young. Dylan, though, is only 1 lap older on the tires than Charles Sandfer, so I think Dylan going to be his big competition here.
You're not going to get around Dylan Young at his pseudo home track. He wants this win bad to cap off a great. Even though he struggled towards the middle of the part in the summer stretch, he wants to cap one off of these fans.
Now Zoerlein gets by Nate, and he just drives away, Vince.
Rayne and Tringali are sitting ducks there, Zach.
They are very much at a disadvantage here tire-wise. I believe the difference between Zoerlein is 2 laps. That pit window stretched from lap 28 to 31. So 4 different groups on the pit strategy game. You see Zoerlein is just trying not to run him over. Difference from Andrew Rich is 3 seconds now. So if Zoerlein wants a shot at the lead on this run, he's going to have to get by these two as he's pushing Rayne to the inside of Tringali, and now he's going to look all the way to the top. Check this out.
High wide handsome. There it is. Jonathan Zoerlein. Middle of the top. Now you can see he makes a nice move on Rayne. Should be able to get in the corner. Better drive. It's bogged down a little, but he'll stay to the quarter panel. Now use a little side draft.
Sandfer made it by Dylan Young.
Oh, Sandfer. Okay, so now he'll catch this group. Now the question is, it's almost like Tringali and Rayne are lap cars in a way as you see Rayne get past there. How fast do you get past these two?
Zoerlein gets by. That time by Vince. Charles closed the gap on Andrew Rich by about half a second.
I think Andrew Rich is saving his stuff.
Oh, Nate got pinched by Nico Tringali. That's a teammate.
It's not doing any favors for Rodder. He's upset about that one. You can see the aggressive side draft. Maybe a little bird out the window. We'll have to find out later. But
another 4 tenths for Charles Sandfer to the race leader that lap. He is flying. Kev Shearer has managed to stay in the top 10. We haven't talked about the field running order. As you see Flickinger under fire from Ozkan and Fitzwater. Alexander Rowe has made it up to 13th place. Keith Rich, Cole Deaver, top 15. Hudson, Seth Cole into the top 20. Shelton. Allison fading down to 20th. Priya McShane runs in 29th place. Matthew Rodriguez is just behind, though, in 31st. Remember, the belief is that the 71's owner points will go to S3, as Seth Cole and Henry Sandfer will be new drivers on S3 Motorsports next season. As Andrew Rich has caught lap traffic in the form of Danielle Bouchard.
Zoerlein's definitely starting to eat away at that gap. As you can see, it looks like Charles Sandfer got about Tringali, and now he's on the back foot of Nate.
By the way, that's Danielle Bouchard, not Danielle. Sorry for the wrong pronunciation there. And Nate unable to get by Allison, Rayne, and Charles is right on his back bumper. The window is about 10 laps away. Actually more like 9 laps away now for some of these guys. If they elect to pit after 28 laps. Zoerlein is slowly closing the gap. Charles is going to look to the top side. Can he get there? No, not quite. Didn't get much of a run there off the corner either. So Nate will now go by Rayne. Charles is going to keep his car in the middle. Oh, and just look at the way he's able to drive to Rayne's outside.
Yeah,
Easy
fresh
pass.
tires. Fresh tires mean the world. Now, if he gets around Nate, can he hunt down Zoerlein? I think Andrew Rich, I think if we had a longer run, he'd probably lose this lead, but he seems to be in a good spot here. Save those tires, save the front brakes, and more importantly, try to save fuel. We know Andrew Rich is looking for 3rd win in these playoffs. Been definitely the biggest spoiler so far.
Talk about last season, the most points gained by any driver in the playoffs was Jesse Turner. I'm not sure who that would be right now. That would be something to look at after the race, after the season's been over. Possibly something to discuss in our season review show, which we will be doing in a week or two's time for both Jerky Pro and Digital Storm. Be on the lookout for that. And of course, as Charles Sandfer goes for position on Nate Rogers, instead of doing a crash compilation this year, there will be a top 10 Rex video for each respective series. For Jerky Pro, it might only be a top 5, as there have not been a ton of Rex this season.
It's been a clean season in Jerky Pro, I have to say. Very good out of the old truckers out there.
Sandfer by Nate Rogers for third. He's 2 seconds behind Jonathan Zoerlein now, as Zoerlein navigates lap traffic in the form of Daniel Bouchard. He's going to get a little held up here, as Charles is flying. Rich still not showing much fall off despite pitting as early as he did, Vince. Maybe just kind of saving that stuff a little bit on this run. Now you see him kind of struggling to the inside of Laura Chung.
Look at the lappers ahead. This race is going to come down to Fitzy's favorite thing, lap cars. I think if we get a short run at the end. Now Sanford's within he's under 2 seconds.
Half
Here we
a
go.
second that time by for Sandfer to Rich. Zoerlein lost a little bit of time now to the inside of Bouchard, as Rich has just been riding behind Laura Chung, maybe saving a little fuel. Oh, he's pitting really early. Lap 53. Zoerlein's coming down too.
Oh, man. Can Sandford stretch this 8 laps? That's the question.
Well, he went 31 before, so I would think he would try it. I think those guys may be Vince strategy gaming it. They know.
Whoa. Nate didn't. Nate said, I'm going to follow you. Interesting.
Strategy gaming it, Vince. Think about it. They're not going to make it on one more stop anyways. Might as well come down early if the guy who stayed out the longest is flying up towards you. Charles showing no signs of pitting. Nate is going to... Oh, I thought Nate was pitting, but he stays out. And Tringali hasn't even come down the pit road yet, and he was the first to pit last time by. A lot of people strategy playing. Priya McShane is one of them. Samet Ozkan's on pit road.
That's smart.
That's a very good call for Ozkan. He was, or has been, completely out of the picture. It's 40 to go this time by, so the question remains, can Charles stretch it to lap 62?
We're going to be close. Nate's trying to do the same thing, though, but I don't think it's a good move from Nate. I don't think he has the raw pace. Rayne's coming in.
Rayne's coming in. Tringali, remember, pit lap 28. We expect him to pit this time by, maybe later. Rowe came to pit road. Same with Fitzwater. So strategy all around the track. And now, Vince, this is where things can get a little tense, because you've got guys with 3-second fall off worth of tires and guys on fresh rubber, and that's when dive bombs, or apparent dive bombs, start to occur. This Bouchard pit. But once you have those fresh tires and you're racing around the leader, like, you can dive it into the corner so much harder. Like, Charles Sandfer is running 152 into the corner. On new tires, you can go about $170. Look at Logan York, just went to the outside of Nate Rogers there. Just look at the difference in pace. Charles continuing to go high as more drivers pit in front of him. Nate Rogers staying out as well. Right here, watch this difference. If Logan peeks to the inside, oh, he can't quite get there. Didn't make the move, but look at the difference from Priya McShane. Charles just has to survive to lap 61.
Ooh.
Logan's going high. More drivers pitting in front of Charles. This is probably the biggest pit window on a speedway I've seen all year, Vince.
Now, the only thing I'm thinking, maybe that's why Zoerlein said, hey, if we can get 7-8 laps of fresh tires, if you would think about a 3-second fall off, 7 times 8 times 3 would be 21, 24 seconds gain. Charles could be in the risk of getting in the mid-pack here.
Nate pit.
Smart move. He can't make it. That's too early. So now it all comes down to this guy right here, Charles Sandfer. If he pits here, I don't think he can do it.
He is
Oh,
it pitting. He's pitting here with what'll be 35 to go.
he can't make it. I don't think he can do it. Boy, oh boy. Did Jonathan Zoerlein snookered his field? Where is Zoerlein?
Oh, looks like Jesse Turner just had an issue in his stall. That's a tough break. Zoerlein is behind. 3 seconds behind Andrew Rich.
Now back to Sandfer. Rich is definitely the leader. Zoerlein should be second.
It's a 3-second gap from Zoerlein to Rich. In the scheme of the championship, that does not mean anything. Alexander Rowe, I think, is up to third with how early he came down the pit road.
For the timing and scoring the cycle here, but I think Rich is going to have about a 10-second lead, 12-second lead on Sandfer, I'm going to say.
It's 2.8 seconds to Zoerlein. Alexander Rowe is indeed up to third.
The Met. Where is he?
Talk about a strategy game going on here. Rayne in fourth. Sandfer nowhere inside the top 10 because of staying out. Man.
21 to 24 seconds. That might be the window.
Zach Flickinger fifth. Ozkan sixth. Fitzwater seventh. Tringali eighth. Deaver, Nate Rogers, Quinton Moore. There's Charles Sandfer, 20 seconds back.
Ooh.
Was staying out long, the bad decision. Was it the bad decision? He could not stretch it to 62.
I feel you got to come in early now. Now you got to come in early next stop.
I think your bet is made, Vince. You are 18 seconds behind Jonathan Zoerlein. You are not going to catch him on pace.
That's a heartbreaker if he can't make this race on. It's the rest of the way because basically he's got to get through too many people. I don't think it's a good call.
If you pit with 4 to go and take fuel only, it's going to save you 12 seconds on the pit stop, but they are going to make that up if they pit around like lap 80. He needs a caution is what he needs. He needs to gain time, and then during the pit cycle, he needs a caution. I think that's the only way Sandfer gets out of this with a championship. I think at first it looked like the best strategy, but the second he didn't make it and everyone else pit early, it flipped on him.
A smart move by Zoerlein, and he's just going to stay 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds back just to save his stuff a little bit, get a nice smooth pit stop, and win this championship. I don't think Ozkan's got anything for him, nor does Nate.
And Nate is 17 seconds, 14 seconds behind Zoerlein because he stayed out so long. And of course, with tire age, they are going to gain no matter what, but Jonathan Zoerlein, man. Now, you just got to make sure you don't pit too early. Well, actually, you can't even not pit too early because you are in the window now. It is 29 laps to go right now. So if you pit here, you are good to make it to the end of the race. How about Priya McShane? She jumped up to 17th.
Oh.
Matthew Rodriguez is down in 35th. As Jesse Turner is 5 laps down now. Turner could be a weapon. Is he still on pit road?
I thought he was out of it, but he might be.
Nope, he's right here. So Turner's got 6 lap fresher tires to a lot of these guys, if not more to some of the others. And you can see the difference. You know, one wrong dive bomb and we've got a yellow flag.
I don't think Zoerlein cares that it's down at 2.8 from 3.5. He's definitely charging. Nate's 2, but it's too far back. That's just, you're not going to make up 16 seconds.
There's Charles Sandfer trying to get back into the top 10. And he is going to get aggressive here, trying to get to the inside of Deaver, who was going for the inside of Cologne.
Mitzi's no slouch to get around, though. Same with Quinn and Moore. He's going to have to be careful here.
Charles with the freshest tires, able to make the bottom work. Let's see how much he can dive it in compared to Quentin Moore. Not that much of a difference, actually. I think that's because Cologne is really pinching him on the outside.
Side drafting, that's big. These rookies have learned side drafting. I got to give him credit throughout the season.
Charles will get back into the top 10 here with a pass on Fitzwater, but he is about 17 seconds behind. So he's closed the gap to Zoerlein. It was 17 to start. Now it's down to 14. Remember, he was about a second and a half behind Zoerlein when Zoerlein elected to pit. Nate Rogers is closing the gap. He was, wow, 0.8 of a second faster than Andrew Rich that time by. That's the tire we're talking. Look, 29.2 to Rich's 29.9. That is insane.
Lost the lap traffic, yeah.
We know he's going to have to pit again. We know pretty much everyone we believe is going to have to pit again. I don't think Charles can stretch it 34, 35 laps. I could be mistaken, but I don't think he can. I think you could stretch it 32, 33, but I don't think you can stretch it 35.
No, you definitely can stretch it for a fuel only, but it's a risk, right? It's too risky, I think, at this place. But if he had nothing to lose at that point, why not? Now Zoerlein's starting to fall back a bit from.
Well, the thing with fuel only is if it's the end of the race, Vince, and you're going for a championship, you have to do it because if you take tires, you are conceding automatically because Zoerlein's going to pit like lap 80, lap 81, and he's going to gain a ton of time. So you need to stay out as long as possible and hope for a yellow because that strategy game is just flipped on Charles Sandfer.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if we're gonna get that yellow. It just looks like Zoerlein's. Oh, he's coming now. He's getting some push draft. That's always nice.
I think all these lap cars have fresher tires than Zoerlein, and that is gonna hurt him if he gets shuffled to the top. Oh, Adam Flickinger is gonna go 3 wide. Nope, he thought better of it. Ooh, that was tight.
I think Zoerlein's experience is helping him here. He should have been at the back already, but that experience definitely paying off.
See Rayne and Rowe battling it out for third. And then Zach Flickinger is just chilling in fifth. Austin back in sixth. Now has been caught by Nate Rogers, who has really flown up through the field. Nate will fly up to sixth, second in the championship. Sandfer is behind Tringali for eighth. He'll peek to the inside. He's peeking, but he's not. Ooh, that's a little bit of contact.
He's getting pinched, but I think he should be able to make the pass.
So Sandfer up to eighth now with a decent amount of clear racetrack in front of him to fly in some hot laps. As Nate's got a mess in front of him.
Oh boy, I don't think Nate's going to get around this just by a lap or two. He needs 3 or 4. And Turner's not. You're not getting around Turner. He still has the freshest tires on this track. We know that.
Turner already passed Nate. This is really going to bog down as Rayne's pitting really early.
That's Meadowlands. That's the same thing that happened at the Meadowlands.
Where's the 51? I can't get a pinpoint on the 51. Still can't. There she is.
There it is.
Lonely, lonely, lonely pit road for Allison Rayne, but this is a strategy to win the race. Think about
Rich, I covered that off. I covered it off now.
She was 7 seconds behind. Who is that? That is Alex Ferranti. He's been nowhere all race. Not a bad call for him. That is Quentin Moore, I think.
Yep, Q-Man. Pit Road's a busy place now, Zach. I think once one came. Here we go. It's Kev Shear, I believe.
Shelton. Nope, that's Shelton. No Kev Shear yet. Andrew Rich is in.
Rich.
Zoerlein's going to come in right behind him. Alexander Rowe will stay out and inherit the race lead. Nate Rogers and others. Samet Ozkan's coming down.
Brilliant. What a brilliant pit call by these guys, Zach, I have to say.
Bring McShane. Allison with a late dive. So Rowe is the race leader.
I think he's coming in.
I believe he
Or
will
he's
come
that
in
slow.
this time by. Here he comes. Nate Rogers will stay out and take the race lead. Sandfer is right behind him. This is what we want to be watching now for the rest of this run. When do you pit? If you're Charles Sandfer, do you really just got to stretch this thing out as long as possible, or do you pit now? To me,
Yeah.
Vince, it doesn't matter. Charles had made his bet on the last run. I think staying out as long as possible is the best course of action for him and Nate Rogers. They want a caution flag to come out during the middle of this cycle. It would really benefit them. Right now, not a lot of people on the lead lap. Nate looking to make that number even less. Make it down to 15 drivers on the lead lap. Charles is closing, but of course it is still only 15 to go.
The only problem is you don't want to be the cautioneer with the speed difference. You know, one wrong move. I'm pretty sure Nate had that problem at Texas earlier in the year where he was involved in it. There's Sam Young coming in.
Now we're down to even less drivers on the lead lap. Make it 11. Rich
Less than that.
Rich is the highest of them all, though. He is in 12th, first car lap down, and he is coming right there. There he is.
Where's Zoe? Where's Jay Zoe?
J-So is a few positions behind him there.
There's Brock. Look at Brock. He just has Superman tires, I like to say.
Well, Allison and Rich are going to really get bogged up here. Rich trying to get back on the lead lap. He doesn't want to get caught a lap down if there's a yellow flag.
Doesn't matter. Oh, watch out.
That was really close. And Rich will get back on the lead lap. Down to only now 8 drivers on the lead lap. Seth Cole, Dylan Young, they've stayed out.
That one's pitting. I think it's Rogers.
Pukekohe and Nate Rogers. Sandfer coming in too. With 12 laps to go. And I think the bet...
Zoerlein's looking good, buddy.
I think the bet has been made for Zoerlein... Or not Zoerlein, for Rich. Not Rich, Jesus. For Sandfer and Nate Rogers. That's just heartbreaking after how strong Sandfer was in the beginning of the race, but that is why they call it a race. The strategy games get played. And they got played. They got played wrong. Rich has a 2.5 second gap to Zoerlein. They pit on the same lap. Four tire pit stops for Nate and Charles Sandfer.
Yeah, it's their race pretty much shot, though. They can't make up the gap with 10 to go here coming. 11 to go, excuse me.
They would need a yellow to re-rack the field, Vince. It's only a second now from Zoerlein to Rich.
I don't know if they're going to get that yellow, man. I just think the racing has been very fair, clean. Someone's pitting here, or I don't know what.
Jesse Turner, yep.
Yeah.
Turner was off cycle after the pit road issue on the last cycle. Nate Rogers, 20 seconds back in 12th. Sandfer 13th, 21.8 seconds back. Just not the strategy that was going to work. It looked like it was going to work in the beginning, Vince, with the second Charles pit early on the second run. The strategy went out the window. So I just don't understand, yet again, why the crew chiefs make these decisions. If you can make it on gas enough to pit just one more time, why on earth would you pit early if you're then not going to make it and now you've given up 18 seconds to your closest championship competitor?
It's a simple math. I mean, and that's what Rich and Zoerlein, when they came in early, right? I think I said early in this race, 7 times 3 seconds per fall is 21 seconds. Right? Sandfer came out 20 seconds behind. He was pretty much toast from right there. We saw this at how many? Daytona, Meadowlands. I know we've seen this at Kentucky.
Meadowlands, Kentucky especially, yes.
Yeah.
Both of those.
I mean, we see in the truck series, this year has been run by strategy and stupid calls. Sandy Flats.
Miller Motorsports Park, actually. Remember?
Yeah, Miller, my bad. But yeah, it's just been a strategy gauntlet of stupidity all year. I have to say.
And what a year for Charles Sandfer it has been. But I mean, take away the stupidity of strategy calls, and Zoerlein is just as deserving for this title.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously not as many wins, but still 5 wins on the season. Looking for what could be number 6 if you can catch Andrew here, maybe make a pass on him. And you know, Zoerlein, his average finishing position, same thing as Sandfer. You know, 16 top 5s coming into this race, 22 top 10s to Sandfer's 23. Speaking of those record marks, as they run, Fitzwater would be the lone driver to hit 24 top 10s. And Rayne would be the lone driver to hit... Actually, no, Rayne and Zoerlein would hit 17 top 5s. And those would be record marks, but Fitzwater's got 3 seconds to Tringali, but then Nate and Sandfer are going to be flying to try and catch him for that possible position there. So now if Fitzwater fell out and Sandfer jumped back in, Sandfer would get the top 10 mark.
Thing is, Zach, I think this is like the All-Star race. I'm pretty sure Rich lost this race to Zoerlein on a last lap pass. That's funny.
It could come down to that. He is there, but remember, they are on the same tires, so it's all about how they've been driving their tires here in this run. They've been on these tires for what now, 19 laps? No, not even, 15 laps.
RJ Bishop is slow. Yeah, damage?
A possible pit road contact. I'll tell you right now, if we have a caution now, the race will end.
Yep.
Fastest lap on the race goes to Rowe at 28.143. Zoerlein, the only other driver below a 28.2, so you can't discount that Zoerlein has had a fast race car this afternoon. 3 laps to go at Chicagoland. This will be the finale next season, regardless if it's a playoff system or a full season format.
And I think Zoerlein, you know, when you have the second most wins on the season, I believe, if you include that All-Star
win. You're tied with Allison Rayne. It's 5 apiece for points-paying races. If you want to count the All-Star win, that would buff them up to 6, but you could also buff Rayne up to 6 if you count her dual win.
Yeah, I don't know. This could be like simulating real life, wink, wink, with that 5 car, but we'll not talk about that. But right now, Andrew Rich, 2 to go, looking to extend his lead in the all-time win category. But here comes Zoerlein. Great run, middle of the corner.
Zoerlein's going to come right up on him, and if Zoerlein wins, he would re-tie Rich for 14 all-time wins. Rich, though, looking to extend it and hit 15.
Oh, this could be last lap, buddy.
White flag in the air. Shelton has to pit. She can't make it. It looks like the championship is in the bag for Zoerlein, but does he want to win to go with it? Ace Rogers is holding up Andrew Rich. Zoerlein pushes him up a lane. To the inside he goes.
Last lap down the back. Zoerlein's going to side draft the heck out of Rich. Rich is going to have the outside, though. Depends what Rich can do on the outside of the corner. Yes, he's going to drive it in. I think he's got it. Rich
drops back down to the inside lane. Off of turn 4. Andrew Rich will get the win. And Jonathan Zoerlein is your 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series champion. The strategy games came to play today, and Zoerlein was the one who played it right. Rich gets his 3rd win on the season, 3rd in the playoffs. 15 career wins now for Rich, all-time leading series. Margin, history, whatever. Zoerlein and Rayne will tie for most top 5s on the season at 17 apiece. And Fitzwater will hold the record for most top 10s with 24. Unknown if those marks will be top next season, will only be 30 races long. But Jonathan Zoerlein,
you got to give credit, man. He really had the best strategy in that 5 team. I mean, they're going to be partying their nights off, as I like to say. How about Ozkan, though? He was quiet all race. He'll sneak in second in the championship. And he got around the traffic better than Sandfer. He'll get third in the championship.
Sandfer comes home 11th, just a tenth shy of a top 10 there. Actually, looks like Fitzwater and Moore were dead even at the start-finish line for ninth place. How about Cole Deaver strategied his way into a top 10 finish? Zach Flickinger, 6th. Seth Cole was at the back earlier. Seth Cole with 13th. Yeah, Rowe especially, man, with a 4th place effort. Not going to be enough, though, for him to get 12th in the points. Priya McShane comes home 16th. Matthew Rodriguez, 28th. So 3 points short for McShane to jump into the top 30 going into 2022. If you look at the rest of your race results, Dylan Young was doing good early too, but he was on the bad strategy call as well. He finished 14th. Kev Shear, 15th. Colt Hudson, good run. Highest rookie on track, 17th. Speaking of rookies, Allison, I believe, got Rookie of the Year easily.
Yeah, I think so.
And then you see the rest of your race results there. Jessica Shelton pitting there at the end of that one. A tough season for many. An inconsistent season for others. And a championship season for Jonathan Zoerlein. That'll do it for us in 2021. We'll see you guys for the season review show in a week or two, whenever that comes out. And then be on the lookout for the top 10 Recs from Digital Storm and the top 5 Recs from Jerky Pro. Could be top 10 Jerky Pro Recs, but I don't know if we had enough. But yeah, be on the lookout for those videos. And then, of course, other stuff will be coming to the channel. Potentially could be doing the Crown Royal 300 again. We'll see. But yeah, it was a fun 2021. I think Vince can attest to that. He only missed a handful of races this season. So
I want to say something real quick. I just want to say thank you to Zach for giving me this opportunity. I think I missed 2 or 3, but the fans as well. Thank you guys for showing up to these events as always, and have a great Halloween weekend. We can't mention this series without a Halloween weekend ending it. I think it'll be a good spooky treat for Zoerlein, and hope you guys enjoyed all the races leading up to the this conclusions as we do record these races early. Thank you.
With that said, goodbye. Congratulations, Andrew Rich, on 15th career NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series win, and congrats to Zoerlein on his first Cup Series championship.